It's been another week and I'm still not done with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. In my defense, I play other games. Anyway, every week I make a video highlighting any game news that interests me because although Nico and I play a lot of games, he tends to be pretty oblivious to news about them, while I'm pretty obsessed with it. So here's everything I think Nico should know about in game news the week of September 4th, 2022. First up, notable releases. Soul Hackers 2 released on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC on August 26th. After purchasing a minority stake back in 2019, Chinese conglomerate and Diablo Immortal publisher NetEase has now fully acquired Quantic Dream, the developer known for story-heavy cinematic games such as Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain. This is NetEase's first European studio acquisition. On their website, Quantic Dream explains, "In order to continue our development and presence in the world, but also to fund other studios and become an international publisher, larger investments are needed. They will continue to operate independently and keep their ability to self-publish on all platforms. From a consumer's perspective, I think this is the thing that people worry about the most. We want developers to keep making games that we like playing, and we worry that corporate investment may ruin that. But from a business perspective, this is good news for Quantic Dream. They will ostensibly have access to far more resources, financial and otherwise, that will allow them to make those games that consumers want without major interference from their parent company." You can read the entire statement at the link in the description below. On August 31st, Kadokawa Corporation, the parent company of FromSoftware, announced that in order to strengthen FromSoftware's development capabilities and to establish a framework that allows the expansion of the scope of its own publishing in the significantly growing global market, they would sell Sixjoy Hong Kong Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of Tencent Holdings Limited, 1,703 shares of common stock, and Sony Interactive Entertainment Incorporated, 1,476 shares of common stock via a third-party allotment. This will result in Tencent owning 16.25% and Sony owning 14.09% of FromSoftware. Kadokawa Corporation will retain its controlling interest with 69.66%. Kadokawa is viewing this as an action that will lead to success in the medium and long term. Given the incredible success of Elden Ring, which I still need to play, this looks like a smart move. This will inject around $260 million into FromSoftware, and as noted in the press release, they will gain access to Tencent's strength in its capabilities to develop and deploy mobile games and other technologies in the global market, and Sony's strength in its capabilities to deploy IP in games, videos, and various other media in the global market. You can read the entire notice at the PDF link in the description below. The Tokyo Game Show is coming up later this month, and they've released their official schedule. All times shown are in Japan Standard Time. As someone who started video gaming exclusively with JRPGs, I always look forward to news from the Tokyo Game Show since the stuff that comes out of there is typically more Japanese game-centric, obviously. I'm pretty hyped for the whole event, but I'm probably looking forward to news from Square Enix the most since that's where most of my favorite game franchises are from. But really, Bandai Namco, Capcom, Konami, Sega, Level 5, I will not be able to contain my excitement. For more information about the Tokyo Game Show, check out the link to the official English version of the site below. Oh look, another video game delay. I think I'm going to start keeping track of this. It seems like every week I'm posting about the delay of a game that I'm excited about. This week it's Sons of the Forest, the sequel to The Forest from End Night Games. It was originally supposed to release in late 2021, then it got pushed back to May 2022, then again to October 2022. According to the announcement tweet from the devs, which featured 12 seconds of new very cool looking gameplay I might add, this is the last delay and it will be releasing on February 23rd, 2023. It's kind of a bummer that it's missing spooky season, but oh well. Nico and I had a fantastic time playing through The Forest together earlier this year on stream, and we've been anxiously awaiting this new one for a while now. I'm pretty sure The Forest was the reason he started getting me into survival games starting with Raft. He really wanted me to experience this game. Anyway, I guarantee that as soon as the sequel comes out, we'll be streaming it on Twitch and making our silly highlight videos for it. Please look forward to it. Xseed Games posted an announcement trailer for Trinity Trigger, a Japanese action RPG developed by 3 Rings coming to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and the Nintendo Switch. The description on their YouTube video describes it as an all-new action role-playing game combining the look and feel of iconic RPGs of the 90s with an emphasis on fast-paced, customizable combat. The music reminded me a lot of the music from games like Dark Cloud and the Mana games. There's no exact release date yet, but they're targeting early 2023 for a Western release. You can check out the full trailer at the link in the description below. There's a new game in the Voice of Cards series from Yoko Taro coming next week on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PC. It's called Voice of Cards: The Beasts of Burden, and it releases on September 13th. I thoroughly enjoyed the first two games, The Isle Dragon Roars and The Forsaken Maiden. Unlike most JRPGs, these are more bite-sized in that you can complete them in about 15 to 20 hours. My favorite thing about them is probably their subtle humor and the clever way they parody almost every JRPG trope you can think of. When I first started playing The Isle Dragon Roars, it was precisely that clever parody that I initially found incredibly off-putting. But once I realized what it was and how well it was being done, my opinion about the game did a complete 180. If you haven't played any of these games, I highly recommend checking them out, especially if you're a fan of Yoko Taro and his unique storytelling. Check out the full trailer at the link in the description below. Ubisoft has confirmed that the next Assassin's Creed game is Assassin's Creed Mirage. I've actually never played an Assassin's Creed game, although several of them are on my backlog list, but I have a huge fondness for them because when Nico was a young teenager, I used to enjoy watching him play them. He would explain the story to me and show me all these cool jumping and sneaking moves. Ubisoft didn't provide much more information besides this artwork and the title, but they're planning on telling us more about it on September 10th during their Ubisoft Forward event. Assassin's Creed is celebrating its 15th anniversary this year, and there's even some branded Tennessee bourbon whiskey that you can get. Yes, I totally bought some. I'm hoping they share a trailer with us soon so that I can put that in next week's video. And finally, from a Halo Infinite Developers Update video, we've learned that Forge Mode and online campaign co-op should be coming to players in November. I've been waiting for co-op campaign mode since I don't PvP, and I much prefer playing first-person shooters with Nico than by myself. However, we also learned that the devs have decided to scrap split-screen co-op altogether. Now, since Nico and I don't live in the same house, this doesn't affect us, but this is pretty disappointing to a lot of other players out there. When I think of Halo, I think of Halo Night, an evening where my friends and I would all converge at one friend's house and we'd bring our Xboxes and TVs to play Halo together. Admittedly, our Halo nights were all PvP, and I just drank and watched my friends and Nico play. But I associate Halo with sitting on a couch next to your buddy while you play, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in this regard. Anyway, I've linked the whole developer video below, so check it out if you're interested in their plans for the game over the next several months. And that's it for game news this week. I did something a little different this time around by including actual news and not just, hey, look at this cool new trailer. Let me know what you think. It's getting to be fall now, which means that the holiday season is now within our sights. This also means that a billion games that I don't have time to play are all releasing within the next 4 months. Hopefully I'll finish Xenoblade soon, because honestly, Disney Dreamlight Valley, also known as Disney Crossing, is entering early access on Tuesday, and that is going to take up all my free time. So join me again next week for more news and adventure. Until then, play lots of games and have an awesome week.